Hi everybody. You may have noticed recently that my channel has a new name. For a long time I just called it MK Christensen because I couldn't think of anything that I wanted it to be called. And finally I thought I really need to think of a name, and I wanted it to be something that was precious to me. I didn't want to just make up something. And I tried to think of a book that I really loved, and I remembered this book. I don't know if any of you know about this book. It's called Miss Suzy. It's a children's book, and I remembered this book from when I was a very young child, and I had very fuzzy memories of it. I knew that there was a storm and a squirrel who had a house in a tree, and something bad happened, and there was a doll's house. It was very confusing. But my sweet husband, about maybe 20 or so years ago, figured out the book. It was out of print. He ordered this copy. I think it's in print now, but he ordered this copy. This is by Miriam Young. And I think it was like $40 for this copy. He gave it to me one year as a gift. So, I read it every now and then because I just love the writing and the pictures. But I'm trying to find, there's a little song that Miss Suzy, who is the squirrel, she sings. She sings about her house. She loves her little house. It's a very simple house. Isn't that beautiful? Very, very simple house with a bedroom and a kitchen up in the top of an oak tree. Some terrible other squirrels come and kick her out of her house. But she sings this little song. Oh, I love my house. Oh, yes, sirree. My own little house in my own oak tree. And I thought, that's so simple, my own little house. But it says a lot about what I love. I don't have an oak tree. I have pecan trees. I have a fig tree, and I have pine trees. I don't have an oak tree. But I do have my own little house, and houses are really important to me. Maybe that's what I want to talk about, is that other people love so many other things. I love houses. I just love houses. The bigger the better, the more quirky, the more staircases, the more ghosts and mysterious. Oh my goodness. So then I started thinking, in addition to Miss Suzy, this has her house, a deserted big house, and then a doll's house in the attic. So there's 3 houses in this book. And even when I was just teeny, I was probably 4 or something, I loved this book, and the story stuck with me all those years. So I began to think of some of the other stories that have houses that I love. You have Bilbo's Hobbit hole, his Hobbit house. I love that, with the round door. Even in Narnia, you have Diggory's uncle's old house with the passageways up in the attic. Isn't that cool? I've got a little list here. Beatrix Potter's house up in the Lake District. Oh, Hilltop. Isn't that cool looking? Of course, she's a real person. Tasha Tudor's cabin that her son built for her by hand. Oh, I'd love to just go look at that. And whenever I look at Tasha Tudor's books, her kind of books about her, I'm reading the text, I'm looking at what she's doing, but I'm really looking at the pictures of the house. This is one of the reasons I love Bramley Hedge by Jill Barklam, is there's cross sections of tree houses that look like that. It slays me. I love that. And some of my very favorite children's books have wonderful houses. Lucy Boston's Green Noah series. Oh my goodness, that house, which is a real house in England, north of London, and Lucy Boston's daughter-in-law, I think, still lives there. And parts of it are like so old. That's a great series. It's all about the house. It's all about that location. Sorry, I shouldn't go on and on. Even The Railway Children has a very cool country house in it with mice. It seems like every children's story I look at has a cool house, and maybe all children love houses, but I do. So I just wanted to explain that the name of my channel is going to be My Own Little House. Simple name, nothing fancy to it. But if you've been wondering why that's there, It's all thanks to Miss Suzy. This morning I was tired of painting little cards, and so I painted this instead. The inspiration for this was a photograph that I lifted off of a Facebook group called Casa Rosa, I think. I don't know. Sorry. But it's such a pretty photograph, and I did not do it justice. I've tried several of these. This is a 9 by 12, so I spent more time on it. This is supposed to be shadows down here, and it just didn't work for me. It's still pretty. I don't know what to do with it. We'll see. Anyway, that's what I did. This is an unfinished watercolor painting by artist Carol Carlack, who is a family friend, a personal friend of mine, my mother's. She painted this in 1993. I would say it was about half finished. Carol's style is quite loose, generally. So I don't think that this was such an early stage that she was going to tighten it up with lots of very fine detail. You can clearly see a vase here and a spray of flowers, a lot of chaos there. She's got her background colors pretty settled, but not finished. The flowers were not finished, and it's difficult to discover what color they were supposed to be. Looking at this one, I thought it might be yellow, so I put the yellow in there. I just discovered this flower here. It's very difficult to find the flowers in the piece. I think I also added the green on this and there. I don't know what this circle is here. It seems too big to be one of those. It's also by a window, and it seems... at first I thought the white flowers were coming in the window, but looking at it now, it looks like there's a branch coming out of the vase with those white flowers. So I've tried to just give more background definition so that those white flowers stand out. I don't want to go with too heavy a hand, but I want it to look like something that's finished. I'm not really sure what she wanted to do up here. I mean, I haven't added anything new, any new structural piece to it. I haven't put any new flowers in the vase. I've only gone with what she's had. I don't really know what she wanted to do with the vase. She obviously wanted to leave white to show the shape, and some of the flowers inside, perhaps. I do wish I knew. This was 9 years before her death, so she wasn't, at the end of her life. She died of cancer. This was when she was still painting a lot. Anyway, I thought I would get a record of it at this point before I do any more. This is one of Leo's favorite places to nap, and I don't know why. It's the back porch. It's the hottest place in the house. It's right next to his litter box, the cat carrier, the laundry machines. It's on a rubber mat, but about half the time, this is where you'll find him. Hey, Leo. Oh, what a cutie pie.